long, tedious process, and I was lost half the time in communication because I'm learning, and it's tough to do, but I think it's valuable for any editor to go through this and learn how it is to edit. I mean, anybody can do it today. You can just learn the software and start hacking at it. Yeah, do it yourself. So, yeah, sure. All right, guys, I'm going to go to the last slide, and I think I'm just kind of end and open it up to discourse. I think it's going to be funner if you guys have questions. We can rant about things. This slide is analog versus digital. I'm a big computer geek. I love computers. I love science fiction. I love AI. And I think our future is going to change 2025 to 2050 on. We're going to start moving into nanotechnology. That means that we leave all analog. Analog is a system that's one by one. You can't switch it, you can't change it, it has to go in order. Digital can go at any order, at any time, at any facet, at any speed. So I'm a big future lover, I think. Has anybody seen Minority Report here? Well, that whole movie premised this. Steven Spielberg is also a big fanatic of the future, and he basically presented us with the first nanotechnology, and that's where Tom Cruise walks through the mall, and he's getting advertisements. Remember that he, like a beer commercial, that only he can see through his eye. That means that he has a chip in his eye. So if I were to pass Tom Cruise, I wouldn't see that, only Tom Cruise would. And that's called nanotechnology. That's the smallest molecular level you can get with computers that can still function on its own. It's like this invisible computer world. And I think that's going to happen. We won't see it in our lifetime, but we will have, like the Jensens, we're going to be able to speak to dead objects, and those dead objects will be able to move. I can tell, this platform to pop open a screen, and I don't have to use a mouse. I can use my, mind to move and function interfaces. I mean, we're moving into it very quickly with the iPhone, with Apple. I mean, iPhone is a great invention. Who has an iPhone? Anybody? Nobody yet? I don't have one either. You have one. How do you like it?
It's good.
It's good?
Yeah.
Any problems with it? Like the way you can't use it? Yeah. Oh, really? See, I haven't tested it. What happened to black? It's like the size of a quarter. I don't even text people, it's so small. But anyway, that's a great example of we're moving into this screen with no buttons. Basically, the interfaces are becoming so user-friendly that we're being dumbed down unless you really utilize. I mean, how many of you guys use all your features on your phone? Nobody. I mean, we have so much crap on there that we don't need. But it is useful in times for communication and whatnot. But I think my point here is, which I'd also like to discuss, is that I'm an editor, but really I'm not. I'm a media designer, I'm a web designer, I'm kind of this all-in-one, like I stated before. And I think that's where professions are moving. And I know that Cybil's having you guys try to collaborate a little bit more. Because when you guys get out in the work world, I'm not sure what your professions are going to be. You guys aren't going to just be working with a lawyer, or a doctor, or a fashion designer. You guys are going to have to learn how to network and communicate and work as a team, which is the toughest to work with somebody else that's in a different profession. But ideally, you guys are going to come out with one idea. It's either going to make or break the world and whatnot. And I think the digital is advancing so quickly that our young generation are going to be smarter. I mean, who has cousins or younger brothers and sisters that can run a computer like nobody's business? They know all the software. We have MySpace, we have YouTube. These kids are learning how to build websites. They're learning a really great business tool. They know how to market themselves. I know how to advertise myself. MySpace is a huge platform for people. If you're a band and you have no money, go get a MySpace account. That's the only way you can advertise. I didn't have that. I had to look in the newspaper or open up the Yellow Book page to do something, to get my name out there. And I think that you guys are in the right generation because you guys know Macintosh, you guys know Apple computers. I see a lot of you guys have laptops. I mean, you guys can run your businesses that way. It's a lot different than when our parents were doing it. And there is a big war between analog and digital, which you brought up earlier, is sometimes the digital doesn't mean anything at all. We have too much of it that we lose our attention and we don't care.